expanding to all alcohol, which we're only allowed 2.5 this year.
Welcome to the Rowley Board of Selectmen meeting for December 17th, 2012, the time being 7 p.m. Just a reminder, this meeting is being audio and video recorded. Mark, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, our first order of business is at 7 p.m. and it's a...
Mr. Chairman, just before that, could I ask for a moment of silence?
Actually, under Chairman's comments, I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jack.
Okay.
7 p.m. poll hearing, Patmos Road, new polls, 13.5, 14, and 14.5. Also, 7:05 to 7:15 will be citizens' query. Because I am a elected member of the Municipal Light Board, I am going to recuse myself, and Selectman Perry will be conducting the hearing.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Murray. It's the legal notice, Town of Rowley Board of Selectmen. Notice is hereby given that the Rowley Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on an application by the Rowley Municipal Lighting Plant and Verizon to locate poles, wires, cables, and fixtures, including the necessary anchors, guys, and other such sustaining and protecting fixtures to be owned and used in common by the petitioners along and across the following public way or ways. Patmos Road, new pole numbers 13.5, 14, 14.5. Also for permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires in the above or intersection public ways for the purpose of making connection with such poles and buildings as each of said petitioners may desire for distributing purposes. Plans marked Rowley Municipal Lighting Plant and Verizon number 2012-1 dated November 29th, 2012 are on file in the office of the Board of Selectmen. The hearing will be held on Monday, December 17th, 2012 at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall, Main Street, Rowley, Mass. 01969. Per order of the Rowley Board of Selectmen, Robert Snow, Chairman, G. Robert Murray, Vice Chairman, Joseph Perry, Clerk, Stuart L. Dalzell, Sr., Jack L. Cook. I call for a motion to open the hearing.
I'll make that motion. We open the hearing for the poll.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of opening the hearing, say aye.
I, Stu Delzell.
Jack Cook.
Aye, Joe Perry. The notice was run in the December 12th through 18th edition of the Town Common newspaper. And I call upon, I'm sorry, I forgot, Mark from the Light Department to present the details regarding the new poles.
Good evening. Basically, this is a situation arose when Miss Coolidge at 125 Patmos Road is in the process of redoing the building there. She pretty much took it down and then in the same footprint is building a new house. With that, there's a new septic system, and there were some requirements on the old driveway into the property that you would see on the plan itself. That is going to leave us no access to the existing pole.
Oh, okay.
Other than by the old-fashioned way, off of hooks. And at one point, this was the old road. And at some point, I can't find any information when, but we moved the road to the other side.
All
So
right.
basically, what we're trying to do is get it so we have access and put it onto the road and get it off of her property.
Very good.
So the layout is, I showed the existing poles 13, 14, and 15
Right.
that go across 125 Patmos Road. The proposal will be to put a pole 13 and a half in this location
Right,
that is on the edge of the road, about 4 feet off, and then go to pole 14, which is crossing the road,
crossing.
and that'll be about 4 feet off with a guy wire because of the angle, and then continue to across the road again to 14 and a half, which will be about 4 feet off the edge of the road with an anchor, and then continue to 15. By crossing the road, it will reduce the amount of limbs and trees. There'll probably be 2 trees just that are growing out into the road now that once we put wires up, they're going to be in the way. This was the least amount of trimming we would have had to do it that way, because it is a fairly good bend in the road.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Do you have any questions?
No, I have no problem.
You had no problems with the butter? None
I
of them.
discussed with Ms. Coolidge and Ms. Hubbard.
Yeah.
Ms. Hubbard's service now comes from pole 14 to a pole in the marsh and then to her building. I've discussed with her, her service now will come from 13 and a half to pole 14-1 and then to the house. And we discussed that before we even sent the hearing out, and we were good with that at that point. And Ms. Coolidge is all for moving that pole out of her
Out of her property.
property. And as far as Mr. Chandler's, the other one that was the other abutter, he doesn't really use any of the power, and we haven't heard from him or any abutters. I mean,
Yeah, well, he's right at the very end, right, Mark?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
pretty much before.
Yeah, it's quite a ways back.
Any other?
More? No, sounds good.
Okay, could I have a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion that we close the hearing.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jack Cook.
Joe Perry?
I, Stu Delzell.
Okay. Now I need a motion to grant the request to move the pole.
I'll make that motion that we grant the,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Okay, and then I just need you to sign the front one, and then there is 4 copies that we need signed. One for the town hall, one for the light department, one for Verizon. There's one more. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the other one does. Oh, 2 Hazen files. Here we go.
do it all tonight, Mark.
Oh, we all have to sign up in.
Yep.
Only one, that's all.
Let's see what this one
We
is.
got 4.
copy of that for me.
Okay. You get a copy, because I can get it stamped and bring it back.
Just give it to us tomorrow.
I'm gonna get it stamped outside. Why it's still convenient.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would you ask Mr. Murray to come back, please? Welcome back, Mr. Murray.
Thank you, Joe, for all of your assistance. Okay. Get through the poll hearing. Okay, citizens query. Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions they want to ask or any information they want to give us? We've got another about 3 minutes to go with that. Our next appointment is at 7:15. And it's an appointment with Michael Bontos to discuss Class 3 license and auto auction license. But before we get to that, let me go to citizens query and we'll get that one out of the way. Okay. I'm sorry, chairman's comments. By now, most everyone knows that about the tragic incident that took place in Newtown, Connecticut. In the days that followed, it is important to try and resume a sense of normalcy. With funerals for victims scheduled to begin this week, I hope our community can find strength by coming together and support each other. The Triton School District sent out a message for Triton families. If you did not receive this message, please let the school know so that you may be placed on their notification list. Also, it is my understanding that counselors and social workers will be available to support Triton students. I now call for a moment of silence and reflection. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for John Witherspoon, who passed away last week. He was a longtime member of the Planning Board and the Conservation Commission.
Okay. Okay, so yes, John was a longtime Raleigh resident. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, the appointed hour being 7:15. Mr. Bontos, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. $7:15 appointment, Michael Bontos to discuss Class 3 license and auto auction license. Mike, we invited you to the Board of Selectmen to discuss your renewal of your Class 3 license and auto auction license. Your application was completed and submitted the requisite renewal fees for both applications. Unfortunately, you still owe us, the town, some fees. So we really can't renew the license at this point until those fees are paid. It's basically a town bylaw based on state statute. And what we wanted to be sure is that you realized that the license will expire on December 31st.
I understand that. Is there any way I can make a payment plan to the town?
Yeah, I think you can probably work that out with the treasurer.
I do have a payment plan signed through January, so I think it's the 16th of this year. And I have been making payments, but I know I'm past on that, but I'd like to try to resolve this so we can do this. If I make a payment plan with the town, with the treasurer, would that let me have my license for the beginning
Well,
of the year?
it depends on how quick you can make the payments. I mean, we can't really drag it out too long.
Okay, what do you suggest, sir? How long would you like me to?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know if the board has any input or any thoughts on that.
I've been here since 1974, and this is the first year.
No, I understand that.
I understand your positions, trust me.
Yeah,
I understand that.
we're really kind of between a rock and a hard place, if you will.
Yeah. The electric bill's been paid for. I
Okay,
have that
so
in front of me.
that one's all taken care of?
I have it.
Okay, so we can take that one off.
Michael, what would be a compromise with you to pay it
I would,
with a number of months or days to pay the full? Because this would be, you're back, we want to help you out. I
understand, and I do
You
appreciate
know, the thing it is that we have statute that, the bylaws of the town that issue permits and, I know you understand.
No, I
You've
do,
been-
and I appreciate that very much.
No complaints where you run business up there, since I've heard, I've been on there.
No, I'd like to talk to my brother, who's my partner, and see what we can set up a plan. Is there any suggestions on how much time you want to give us, or?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to give you a time frame
Sure.
that was to make you fail. In
Okay.
other words, I'd like to know what you think you can pay it in what time frame. Come on right in.
I hope Mr. Bondos leave the door open a little bit and have a talk and go back and see us.
Yeah. You want to maybe go talk to...
Sure,
talk
then
to
come
your
back
brother
afterwards and come
yeah,
back and
and
talk,
just
sure.
see if you can come up with something that hopefully is fairly reasonable. and
Sure.
we can
Do you want
maybe work on
copies
that.
of these, to show the bills? that I
Actually,
paid?
no, as long as we know you've paid it, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We can, once we get everything squared away, we'll verify it again anyway.
Okay,
So,
so, all
okay.
right, we'll go outside and discuss.
Okay, so we're gonna recess, set this off to the side for a minute while they caucus out in the hall.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll hold that one open. For the time being. And we'll move down to general business. And number one is 2013 Class 2 dealer's license renewals. Okay, the first one that we have here. Richard Lockhart.
Sure.
And the paperwork seems to be in order. Okay. The following owner has submitted a Class 2 dealer's license renewals for calendar year 2013. Taxes, light, and water bills are paid. So I'll entertain a motion to renew 2013 Class 2 dealer license for Richard Lockhart, 41 Summer Street.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. So we'll sign that one. Okay, general business, number 2. 2013 Class 3 Dealer's License Renewal Applications for Rowley Auto Salvage, Inc., Donald and Mark Savory, 588 Main Street. Water and light bills have been paid for this business. The outstanding taxes have been paid. Okay. And the rest of it looks to be in order. So I entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Excuse me, second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the license for Rowley Auto Salvage, Inc., Donald and Mark Savory, 588 Main Street. Okay, Deb, I don't see a license application here for that one.
Okay, what we'll do is if you just vote to approve it, we'll have it ready for you for tomorrow to sign.
Okay, yeah, the application isn't.
Yeah, I
is
think it
in
is a carryover from last week. so
Yes, it is.
it's probably in last week's meeting folder.
Okay, so motion
As long
made
as
and
the
seconded.
authorization's been made.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, and we'll sign the license when it's,
Yeah, it's either,
When
it's
it's
probably
ready.
in that meeting folder from last week.
okay. So that's number 2. So, number 3 is auto auction license renewals, and it's the 2013 auto auction license renewal for Rowley Auto Parts. Actually, that's the one we're working on already.
Right.
So that one's not gonna be ready yet. And there is a flea market permit renewal, number 4. And it's 2013 flea market permit renewal for Ginny's Flea Market. The application has not been returned. We will notify them that as of January 1st, 2013, they cannot operate their flea market. Amy has left phone messages on December 12th and emailed her on December 11th regarding her need to submit her application by December 17th in time for the selectmen to vote on it. So this one will be put on hold. And number 5 is to discuss and set Board of Selectmen meeting schedule for January, February, and March of 2013. Debbie has put together the following meeting schedule. which reflects a meeting every Monday evening with the exception of Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday and President's Day, for a total of 10 meetings over the next 3 months. We need to vote on and approve the schedule for the months of January, February, and March. Does anybody have any issues with the dates?
I just have a question about, Martin Luther King is not on the 14th, it's on the 21st?
Yes, it's the third Monday.
Third?
That's in January, correct?
Right.
Monday, January 21st is Martin
Okay.
Luther King.
Thank you.
So we've got it down as 28, is that right?
No,
No.
we're going to meet on the 28th. Martin Luther King, I thought might have been the 14th, but it's on the 21st.
Okay. Any other questions, rants, or issues?
No, I have none.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
So move. Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the meeting dates for January, February, and March as presented in the general business packet. All those in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Did I get a motion? I did have a motion, right?
Still made it.
Yes,
Okay.
Stu made it.
Just want to make sure.
Jack second.
It was made and seconded. Stu made the motion, Jack second.
Okay. Okay. You're back with us.
Yes, sir. We can take care of this within 4 months, make 4 monthly payments
Okay.
for the total balance. We could make a payment after the holiday before the end of the year, for 1 payment. So that in January, February, March, we can straighten the rest of the balance.
By March, you'd have it all squared away
Yes.
in the month, right?
Okay.
That's the figure that you want us to figure, do you know? This is what we have.
Yeah. No, I mean, we can take that in consideration. Okay, guys, the board get any other comments or suggestions? Or?
Would we get our license for next year? If we do, we agree to
Well,
this?
we can't give it to you until the payments are made, but what will happen is we'll try to hold it so it doesn't expire.
Okay.
But I'm not sure that we can even do that based on state law.
It will expire
Okay.
at the end of this year. So, unless it's renewed.
Unless it's renewed. Okay.
So whether it's renewed for the whole year or part of the year.
So the worst-case scenario would be if it expires on the 31st, then he may need to apply for a new license. Would that be the issue?
Correct.
Okay. Is that satisfactory?
But would it be grandfathered if, once we pay for everything, or?
Well, the license will be reissued. It's the same, it's the same filing fee as is the renewal. And you've sent the renewal license in, renewal application in.
Yes, sir.
I think what Mr. Bondos is asking, if it's not renewed by the first of the year, will it be grandfathered?
Yeah, do I have to go like a hearing
Oh,
or
we
something
have
like
to
that?
Go through
I-
this?
Well, I think there's two separate questions. One is dealing with the license, the auto auction license, and the other is the zoning. Is the zoning question?
Yes.
Well, the zoning, you can have a legal, non-conforming property that's not in operation for no more than 2 years from the date that the operation ceased. So-
Okay. So basically, if the license expires on the 31st of December,
Correct.
then at the worst-case scenario, it's considered that you've ceased operation. But you still have 2 years to pick it up again before anything would happen to the zoning classification.
Okay.
It has to be the same size and nature. It can't be anything
Right.
when you
Nothing
restart
would
it
change.
up,
It would be
you can't
basically the same
expand.
thing because it is a non-conforming use.
So
Well,
nothing would be changed?
No, it shouldn't, because you haven't, unless you go to the 2 years. If it goes,
Oh, okay.
if it's expired for 2 years, then you start all over again. But, so would that be satisfactory?
Yeah, I think so, unless we can come up with it before the end of the year.
Well, if you could do that, that would be better.
It's the best thing. we
Much,
can
much
do.
better.
I understand that.
Huh?
I understand that, yeah.
You know?
All right.
I mean, it's a hard situation. You guys have been up there since
40
when?
years, 74,
Yeah.
almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Haven't had any complaints in there, the neighborhood, or nothing I can
No.
number, around there.
All right.
So it'd be the best thing if you could
Yeah,
get something,
yeah, okay.
must know a bank or something that'd help you. That's gonna save a lot of,
Heartache, aggravation.
because basically, like, the license expires on the 31st. Really, you can't operate.
I understand that.
Someone calls up and there's a truck going in,
Yeah,
or there's something
no,
coming out,
I
you're in
no,
violation.
I understand
We're
that.
trying to
No,
make the waves to help you.
I understand, and I appreciate that very much.
I mean,
Okay.
only speaking as one, but
All right, maybe
the
we
best
can-
thing is if you can pay it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's what
no.
we'll try to do, and if we can get it before the first year, then there's no problem.
Right,
Exactly.
right, then there would be just another vote for us to renew it and you'd be in
Just renew
business.
it
Yep.
For us.
Yep.
Okay,
Just don't let it expire if you can help it.
okay.
Well, Mr. Vice Chairman, then, you'd need to vote then to renew it,
Pending the payment.
Contingent.
Yeah,
because
contingent on the
there's no,
payment.
there won't be a selectmen's meeting until January
January
7th.
Exactly. So, does somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion that we vote for the, what was it under? Make sure we get this right here.
Do we have to do two separate votes for
There's-
the
Two
Class
different-
3 and the auction?
Well, what we're going to vote on is there's actually two licenses.
Right.
Right,
Auto auction and
yes,
class,
Class
three.
three.
class 3. For Rowley Auto Parts, Michael Brontos, 164 Boxford Road, it would be those two entities. There's actually two licenses.
yep.
So,
I'll make that motion that we grant on the, that we will sign the license if payments made before the 31st of this month.
okay. Is there
I'll,
any-
On
I'll
both
second.
licenses,
Both, yeah,
both licenses.
both licenses.
Well, we're gonna vote one at a
Well,
time.
yeah, we gotta vote one.
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any other discussion?
Can
All
we
those-
just get clarification, which one are you voting on now? then? Class 3?
Class
you said?
3,
Okay.
Get the class 3 license.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Signify by saying aye, aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Now we have the auto auction license renewal for 2013. At 164 Boxford Road. Need a motion, basically the same.
I'll make that motion, to grant that pending payment of 31st or by then,
Okay.
that the license would be issued.
Motion made, and do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
Thank you very, very much for your help and understanding. I appreciate it very much.
okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Have a nice
Thank
holiday.
you. You too.
Thank you.
And Citizens Query was over 20 minutes ago. So we're all set there. Okay, new business. Discuss and set hearing date for new liquor license application submitted by EZ LLC. So, Eric Prizzy, is that the name?
Prince.
Prince.
Okay. We'll be discussing his liquor license application. We find to find out if he is requesting just a wine and malt. The town is permitted to have only 2 full package stores, so he would not be eligible for an all alcoholic license.
Correct, just looking for
The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to set the date for the hearing. The next meeting is January 7th. We can schedule this for 7:45 on the 7th.
7:45 and 7?
Yes, and we'll actually send you a notice of that also.
Okay.
And it is a wine and malt that you're looking for?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And And Deb, as far as you know, the rest of this is,
Well,
alright?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
on the first page, the monetary transmittal form, the reason why we wanted that clarification this evening is Mr. Prinz checked off wine and malt to all alcohol as one of the transaction types. So I
sorry.
interpret that to be an expansion from a wine and malt to all alcohol, section 15.
Oh, okay, I must
License.
have made a mistake on
Okay.
that. No, just applying for the beer and wine.
And then the 6-day to 7-day.
Applying for the 7-day.
Okay, okay. So, we probably just would have him adjust that and just go
What
make
was the date
sure
on that?
with the ABCC. that it's
January 7th.
7th for the meeting. Yeah.
correct. So just right here, it
Oh,
says
sorry
that
about
it's
that.
a new license, so it's not a transfer.
Gotcha.
from a wine and alcohol.
Do you want me to reprint?
We,
That page,
yeah,
or-
we'll have you do that, and we did see here that, this was correct.
And
That's correct.
That's what you,
Yeah,
and then this.
and that's correct, right?
Where's 300?
it's El Tapatio,
Oh,
the same,
So it's
same
6 or
complex.
7
Right.
days, I
Yeah.
interpreted that,
Yeah,
and it's a package store and
wine and malt.
wine and malt.
Mhm.
So it's just on the first page?
Yeah, it seemed like that was an expansion, so I'm not sure, that's,
Yeah, it's a lot of,
okay, we can check with the ABCC to make sure that's correct. but-
okay. So reprint the first page and drop that off?
Yeah, so that would be good.
Because they don't let you save the form on the website as you're
I
filling
know.
it out. You have to
Everything's
start over
online.
every time you redo it, so I might have,
Okay,
all right, I'll
Yep.
reprint that and get it back to you.
yep, okay, and the
Thank-
selectmen may have some questions for you.
Okay, Deb, is there still a question on the ad itself? The
No,
newspaper
once the
ad?
selectmen set the date for the hearing, we need to make sure that Mr. Prince is available.
Okay,
at
and I
that
believe you
time.
are gonna be available for that
Yeah,
night?
I'll be
Okay.
with Scott too, my partner.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a standard language for the hearing notice that we'll give to Mr. Prince, and he can run it in the newspaper.
Okay,
For a period of time, it has to be at least 10 days before the date of the hearing. And then there needs to be notification to the abutters
Okay, that happens after the 7th or
prior to the hearing.
prior to the
Okay, so we
7th.
need to come in tomorrow and
So
the
this is
language.
something that would need to be resolved this week to make
Okay.
sure that there was enough time
Sure.
before.
I'll come back tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
get the
sure, that
language
would be
from
fine. And then the board may have some questions about the nature of the business or some just general questions about the hours of operation and other things.
Okay. Is there anybody got any questions at this point?
I don't.
I don't have any
Oh.
questions.
Okay, other than getting the application the little tweaked a little bit, we'll be in good shape, I guess.
Great.
So we will see you on the 7th.
See you on the 7th, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving right along. Old business, number 1, update on Brad Street House and bond sale, and extension date on closing. I think we have some pretty good news on the extension date. Update on the Brad Street House and bond sale and extension date on closing. Debbie and Town Council Judith Pickett have been working with the Buyers Bank in finalizing the details of the closing. The Buyers Bank has asked for a December 28, 2012 closing date. The deed and the subordination agreement are ready for the Board of Selectmen to sign. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote, sign, and quitclaim deed 239 Main Street and the subordination. So, is there any questions or suggestions, or has anybody got anything to say? I'm Sean, just right on time. Thank you, Sean.
Just a comment, Mr. Chairman, that I'm glad that everything has gone through and that everything has proceeded to a point where we can sign this documentation.
I have to agree wholeheartedly with you, Joe. A lot of people have put in a lot of work on this, and I always get a kind of a funny look when I say this, but thanks to our administrator and her staff, they did a terrific job on this one to get it done in a timely fashion, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So, I will entertain a motion to sign you want to do these as separate motions, Deb, or can we do it all at once?
Either way,
So this is basically the quitclaim deed
Right.
and the subordination agreement.
which is a document that really what it does is sets the priority that the historic preservation restriction is the primary document when we record, we record it first,
Mhm.
so that if there was ever a foreclosure or something on the property down the road, the historic preservation restriction won't extinguish.
Okay. So a motion for that?
I'll make a motion that we sign both the quitclaim deed and the subordination agreement.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to sign the quitclaim deed and subordination agreement for 239 Main Street, the Brad Street House in Barn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There you go. Thank you, Phil. Did I miss one of the license applications? You folks in for a license application?
Willie P. Classics. They're notified to be here tonight.
Oh, okay, there must have been some confusion. Is this a new liquor, I mean, a new car dealership, used car dealership?
It's a transfer from the previous tenant.
Okay, and what is the street location?
266 Haverhill.
Okay, actually, this, we had sent to the building inspector, who's our zoning enforcement officer, and he had reviewed it, and he said that there was not an occupancy permit issued yet. So we were holding off on that.
Well, I'm in the process of finalizing some stuff with the chief, fire chief.
Okay, so once the occupancy permit is issued, then we can proceed with the car dealership, because the car dealership license allows you to operate, and you can't operate until you have an occupancy permit. So I apologize for any confusion on that part.
That's fine.
I,
I only live up the street.
Okay.
I live right down the road.
Okay, what we can do then is we can schedule you for the January 7th. Do you think you'll have the occupancy permit by
Yeah, I
that
should have
time?
it by then. I might go into the punch list right now.
Okay,
It's
'cause-
pretty much completed.
okay, there are certain code requirements
Yeah,
and
I
things
had,
like
I had the
that.
punch list, he gave me it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
There's only a few things left on it.
okay, that's the car dealership license is the last step in the process. That's why the selectmen can't proceed with
Okay.
that until the code and other issues are taken
Okay,
into and
okay.
complied with.
Yep,
I apologize for that.
no problem,
Sorry.
no problem. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
Good
you.
night.
thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, that leaves us with announcements. Rowley Food Pantry is in need of donations. The food pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And this time of the year particularly, before and even after Christmas, they'll definitely need donations because people tend to kind of forget about those things in the rush of the holiday.
Donations can be dropped off at the public library
Public library, okay.
during the normal business hours.
And folks, here is your chance to become and give back to our lovely, quaint town. And the town has the following vacant seats: Planning Board, full member; Planning Board Associate Member; and Zoning Board of Appeals Associate has 3 open seats. So if there's anybody out there thinking about giving back to their community, come on down and see us and we'll fix you right up. Send us a letter giving us your background and telling us that you want to be one of these members, and we'll certainly talk to you about it. Also, there's a battery recycling box located in the town hall hallway. So anybody that has batteries, particularly now that Christmas is coming, or just after Christmas, when all of the kids run down their batteries and you need to throw them away, don't put them in the rubbish. Bring them here to town hall, put them in the recycling box, and we'll take care of them. And wishing everyone the best of holidays. And
The battery box is also available at the public library.
at the public library now, very good,
recycling, yes.
very good. Also at the public library. The library has a little bit more hours than we do sometimes.
Yes.
So, particularly on Saturdays. So that'd be great. So any other comments or suggestions or?
We do want to wish everyone
Happy holidays.
happy holidays.
The best of holidays. Given the circumstances of this past week, I think we're going to need it.
Yes.
Okay, so we entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion, we adjourn. Everyone have a good holiday.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.